the name under yours?
We are live. We're back. We're back. We're back. Oh, the jersey. The jersey. Who's on the back? Who's on the back?
The 10, Mr. Eze. The
Mr.
differential.
Mr. Eze. This is the jersey I got. The trophy hasn't arrived yet. This is Lenny. He's all over me. But we're excited to be back. We're going to quickly go through some awards. You know, we are fantastic pundits. So we're going to go through some awards for the last season, make some predictions for the last season. This is the big jersey reveal. I got a little Crystal Palace kit. It was on sale as well. So, it was a great deal. But let's start off with who had the biggest cojones last season in coast to coast. The biggest cojones. Who you got?
I can tell you who it wasn't. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I think Mr. Barksnell had some big kahunas. He had a decent finish. I mean, eighth place in the league. That's no easy feat. This guy would captain a differential captain any given week. I saw a lot. Sometimes I was scratching my head and it would pay off for him. You never know, but he was not afraid to mix it up. So I give some props to Mr. Barksnell there. Kyle Barks, what a guy, what a manager. Got to get the Champions League though if you want to play with the big dogs.
Yeah, he's got potential, and I think he went wrong a few times, but he also had the cojones to make some risks. So I think that's a good shout. But I'm going to give it to Netflix and Chilwell, Andrew Apps. I thought he had a lot of differentials all season, and he ended up finishing sixth. He was up there throughout the season, ended up going wrong, but it's because he had big kahunas. So the big kahunas don't always pay off, but that's my shout. So we're going to quickly go into the next one. Who was your biggest disappointment?
For that, I got to go with this man right here, the Klopp father.
Oh.
Consistently underperforming, almost like Gareth Southgate with England. I have high hopes for him. I know this man lives for the game. He's knowledgeable. I just don't see him ever doing well in FPL. I mean, even in the work league we have, all right, he got second in that. I don't even know how many people really play that, but I got to see more from him. I got to see a better season, move up the ranks a little bit. I'm calling him out.
Yeah. I think mine's an even sharper call out here is Shoddy. What a disappointment. What a disappointment that guy was. We're in the group chat with him. We have a little 3-way group chat, and he's talking all the stuff beginning of the season, and he ends up at 11th, not even in the top half.
He gave up. He gave up.
One, he gave up. Two, he made so many wrong decisions. It's just crazy to me. So, the biggest disappointment for me is Shoddy. No Pong talk. All right, let's move into the next one. Manager of the season last season. Who you got?
Listen, I'm going to have to give it to myself here. I really tried hard. It's got to be whoever wins. It's simple as that. I mean, you got lucky this year. You were a lucky manager. You did it. I'll give it to you.
All right, I'll take that. I'll take that from you. But what I'm gonna give it to Mr. P. Mr. P. He had a great season. He was up at the top a lot, and you know what? I didn't expect that. I didn't even expect him to be in the mix, and he certainly made people sweat. So,
very quietly was he at the top. He was very quiet up there for a long time. All
right, let's jump into the next one. The biggest underperformer.
I mean, it's almost, you can say that maybe with Shoddy the disappointment because you expected him to be a little bit higher. I think I gotta say Mr. Santel. I know he's got it in him to do better.
Yep.
He had some great weeks. He turned it on. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I got to check the numbers, but I felt like he really turned it on the last third or half of the season. He started having some monster weeks quietly because you just don't see it unless it's top 4 or top 6. But he finished pretty strong, I think. It's just you want to see him do that the whole season because he's a former champion. He is on the trophy.
Yeah.
If you don't know this, all the trophy, every single winner, their names are engraved on it with permanent Sharpie. I mean, he's maybe multiple winner, but he's won for sure, and he's got it in him.
Yeah, he definitely, I think he's the type of guy when he has the time to sit down and watch games and scout, he ends up getting up the table because he sees what's going on and he knows the game. My biggest underperformer, there's a few people I have in my head for this, but what I'm going to go with is FPL American.
Wow.
That
Underperforming.
guy, I won the league and my rank was, around 82,000. I think FPL American has higher standards for himself. And I think he lost because he underperformed his true, what he's used to being. So that's my shout for that. On that note, I think let's move into the last one for last season, most improved manager of the season. This would be an interesting. I'm interested to hear what you say here.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out first to Mr. Mike Stone, TST goalkeeping legend, by the way. I think he was phenomenal for, first official season, right, in our league. I don't know what his past seasons look like. I'll give him a shout out there. But this guy right here, Payne and Diaz, he was a Payne and Diaz. I don't know if you can still see my screen right here. I only beat him by 3 points. And 3 points is 3 times as many as I beat you that one season when I beat you by 1 point. But Payne and Diaz, very, very good season for him. So I'll give him a shout out there. Most improved or just a great showing, whatever you want to call it. He's dangerous out there.
He definitely improved a lot from his initial. This was his first season in the league, So I feel like throughout the season he learned a lot. I think that's a good shout. My most improved manager of the season, as I'm looking at it, it's you, mate. You're most improved. I think you made a lot of good decisions. You were up there with the best of them a lot, and I thought you made some good decisions. So I think you're my most improved this year.
Well, let's take a quick peek here because I can pull up a little bit. Numbers. I had a really weird start in maybe first 20 weeks. A lot of green to kick off the year, and then a lot of red. But yeah, I definitely found enough to get there. But oh man, I don't know if you can see as well. I had my own superlative, Mr. Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda, and I think I lived that out. A few big swings and big calls for me was coulda, woulda on the Palmer captain when he scored 5. Everyone captain Holland. I had it on till midnight, whatever. But there's some of those swings that make the difference. I don't think I still would have got me quite close enough. But you play differently when you're in different positions, right? And you and Richard obviously had a big battle, the last 3 or so weeks. You play a little different. You get defensive. You think, what would this guy do if I do this? Does that neutralize that? So the game changes a little bit when it's all about beating your opponent, as opposed to just pure in the season, what's going to get you the most points. So, yeah, I'll take it. All
right, fair enough. So let's go into. Oh, by the way, the reason I got this jersey is because Eze, me and Richard both transferred him in, and he ended up having a massive haul on week 38, and he really cemented it for me. So that's why I got this jersey. But let's talk about next season a little bit. Who is your dark horse for next season? Who could potentially win? But you don't really know if they will or not. I got two for my answer, but I'll pick one of them.
Yeah, you go ahead. You start it off because I haven't thought too much about this, to be honest.
All right, so my dark horse for next season is Michael Stone. I've talked to him on the phone. Sometimes when I don't know what transfer to make, I'll call him up. And he is a great sounding board. He has great opinions, so I think he's a great fantasy manager. But my real dark horse for next season is the Duke of Erling.
Oh.
The Duke of Erling. He came into the league a week behind, and he finished in 14th.
Yes.
All right, so he would have been up there with the best of them.
And is this his first time playing FPL? We need to confirm that because this is his first season. That's incredible too.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see about that. But those are my two. Who's your dark horse?
I'm going the Duke as well. Other than that, I don't know if a non-former champion can win in this league. I'm just going to put it out there and challenge. I don't know. I think the champions have been pretty consistently up there. I think it's really tough to do that. I mean, former champion, former champion, former champion, former champion. Payne and Diaz, you couldn't get it done. You're 3 points back. You got to improve. You got to find a way.
Look, the truth is with the former champions, myself, have you won it?
I'm a multiple champ. I'm pretty sure multiple time champ. I've been in the league for longer than a lot of people.
We'll check that out. But here's one thing I can promise: is every week I will be watching content creators. I will be making sure I have the best 11 I can possibly be out there. I will plan my chips. So if you want to win the league, you're gonna have to be to that standard. So because I'm gonna be there. That's the bottom line here. So this is an interesting next topic here. FPL player who scores the most next season. Who will score the most next season? Who is going to be the lock for the captain's armband? Who are you saying gets the most points out of anyone next season?
Liverpool's going to be a wild card. Salah, you still have to respect that, man. I am a big believer in midfielder over forward, especially. I think that first Holland season was a little crazy because teams didn't know what to expect. City was just that good. I think they're having a little bit of a change with the passing of guard from De Bruyne next year, potentially to Foden. We'll see, because being a forward, you have to be prolific, and you have to be Haaland for his first year. Other than that, I mean, I don't know what the point difference was. I mean, Palmer and potentially Salah beat Haaland as well. I got to go with a midfielder. I don't think Palmer's going to do it again. If I'm playing, the opposite of Big Kahunas, it's going to be Mr. Mo if Liverpool can figure it out.
Wow, with a new manager, full setup, he could even go to Saudi. He's picking a guy who may not even be in the league next season, folks.
Hey, listen. I watched a video and I sent it to, Mr. Payne and Diaz because he's Mr. Liverpool. Sorry, Klopper, I didn't send it to you. I don't know if you wanted to see it though. 8 or so assists that Salah should have had to Mr. Darwin Nunez. They're going to get Darwin out. They're going to get a reliable striker in there. It's going to be a different look for Liverpool. It could be good. Kai Havertz, no. I don't know what Arsenal striker situation is going to look like. Saka could easily be up there as well if Arsenal keeps trending up, because I think that's the case. I mean, they're only getting better at this point, young core. So it could be an Arsenal player. I think it's going to be midfielder, Saka or Salah. That's what I'm going to say.
All right. My pick is Saka. Black and white. I think he's the main blood for Arsenal, and I think Arsenal's hungry. They want this. They've been so close, and I think he's the X factor. I'm picking Saka for the highest score for next season. Could it be Haaland? For sure. Haaland scored 217 points this season. Saka scored 226. Foden scored 230. Palmer scored 244. It's like the midfielders really do rack in the points. I think it's going to be Saka. So let's move on to the last topic here. Who is going to win the Coast to Coast League next season? Who's your prediction? Let's hear your thoughts.
I'm going to say me.
Really?
Or just a former champion, because I'm going to make sure that I have some kahunas next season at the right time. My only 2 kahunas moves backfired horribly last year. I think it was the Haaland 5 goals in maybe the 4th to last week. I don't remember exactly, but that was a horrible backfire. But I'm going to sprinkle in some kahunas. I'm going to play smart. I'll watch what I need to watch. I want to watch every content creator out there, but I'm going to get it right from the beginning, which is going to be big too.
Yep. I'm backing myself, mate. I'm backing myself as well. So I'm going to, the only thing I know is that I'm going to scrap and claw for every point.
Everyone counts. Ask Payne and Diaz.
Myself.
3 points could be the difference of Champions League.
All right. Well, Mr. Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda, it was a pleasure catching up with you. This is the jersey I got. Hope you guys enjoyed that little short 15-minute. And we'll see you next season. If you have any friends you want to invite in that actually pay attention, let's do it. We will see you next season.
Not Mateos. No Mateos.
Mateo. Come on, bro. You weren't mentioned for a reason, mate. You're shit. You are shit. We'll see.